What kind of novel is it? That would be permanently collected by the National Library, and receive a high score of 9.7 from countless netizens. On the wastelands after a nuclear war, humanity is no longer the master of this world. Animals mutated by nuclear radiation have made humans their prey. In order to survive, under the leadership of talented individuals, strongholds rose from the ground one by one. They are a symbol of order in the center of the apocalypse. However, the inherent flaws of humanity have not changed even in this new era. The class division is still severe. The corporations inside the strongholds live in luxury every night, while ordinary refugees can only survive outside the strongholds. The protagonist, Ren Xiaosu, is one of them. For food, he lay in wait in the wilderness for a full 2.5 days. He had set a simple trap. If no prey appeared soon, both he and his younger brother would starve to death. Even catching a sparrow would be enough. Suddenly, there was the sound of wings beating the air. Ren Xiaosu's eyes snapped open. A large bird appeared in midair. This was a post-apocalyptic sparrow. It seemed to have sensed Ren Xiaosu's presence, and swooped down from the sky. Ren Xiaosu's heart jumped. He quickly got up to dodge its sharp claws. It then rushed towards the flat ground where the trap was set. The moment the sparrow attacked again, he slammed it hard. Ren Xiaosu gave it no chance to react, quickly grabbing its neck. With a cracking sound, the sparrow could no longer move. Only then did Ren Xiaosu breathe a sigh of relief. The long wait had not been in vain. Just as he was carrying the sparrow and preparing to head back, there was a sudden dawn in his mind. He fell to his knees. His mind felt as if a great bell had been struck, plunging him into a dark chaos. This wasn't the first time he had an episode. Everyone in the settlement knew that there was something wrong with his head, but this time was different from the others. The black mist in his mind completely parted, revealing a palace within. He cautiously pushed open the great doors. In the center of the dark room was a box. Before he could go and inspect it, another wave of pain shot through his mind. Outside, a bald man spotted him, his eyes filled with greed. Ren Xiaosu's eyes suddenly flew open. He stood up in disbelief, looking himself over. He had woken up so quickly this time. The bald man crept up behind Ren Xiaosu, raising a bone knife, and was about to strike. "Give me the prey." But before he could finish his sentence, he saw an iron pot flying towards him at full speed. It slammed hard into his face. The bald man lay on the ground, questioning his existence. He couldn't figure out how the kid reacted so fast. On the way back, a panel suddenly appeared before Ren Xiaosu's eyes. Quest: gift the prey to another person. Dubiously, he turned and walked back towards the bald man. Ren Xiaosu sized up the bald man. There was no one else around, so he asked, "Do you want this sparrow?" The bald man was full of confusion, but before he could answer, Ren Xiaosu shoved it into his arms without another word. That strange voice sounded again, "Quest complete." Then, the typewriter in his mind, with a few clacks, ejected a sheet of parchment. Reward: basic skill learning scroll. Can learn another person's ability. Ren Xiaosu was stunned for a moment. Does this mean I can use this to directly copy someone else's ability? The bald man hugged the huge sparrow tightly. Just as he was about to say a word of thanks, Ren Xiaosu snatched the sparrow back. "Even if you want it, I'm not giving it to you." Watching Ren Xiaosu's departing figure, the bald man stood frozen in utter confusion. What the hell kind of person is this? When Ren Xiaosu returned to the settlement, a long-absent sun rose in the sky. The settlement was located at the foot of a towering wall. The dirty and tiring work required by the stronghold was all done by the people here. Seeing Ren Xiaosu carrying a sparrow, whispers came from the shacks. He actually caught prey again. Ren Xiaosu watched his surroundings warily, tightly gripping the bone knife in his hand. One of the scar-faced men had a vicious glint in his eyes. Just as he was about to step forward and snatch the sparrow, a hand suddenly stopped him. "Don't mess with him. He's crazy." The man seemed to know Ren Xiaosu's past well. Ren Xiaosu didn't go straight home. Instead, he went to one of the few general stores in the settlement. He threw the sparrow onto the glass counter. "Hey, be gentle. This glass is expensive." Old Wang complained with a pained expression. Then, the abacus in his hand started clacking. 3 jin and 6 liang. Today's market price is 200 yuan per jin. Let's call yours 700. Ren Xiaosu said decisively. "Winter is coming. 900, not a penny less." Old Wang immediately shook his head. "It's true the stronghold is short on meat, But everything has its price. As soon as the words left his mouth, Ren Xiaosu picked up the sparrow and turned to leave. I'll go ask old Li for his price. Hearing this, old Wang hurriedly stopped him, a friendly and amiable look on his face. You're delaying Liu Yuan's school time. 900 it is. Ren Xiaosu squinted and smiled faintly. Now it's 1,200. After a while, old Wang counted the money with a heavy heart. The final transaction price was 1,198 yuan. Ren Xiaosu also made his own concession. I'll let you have the 2 yuan. Before leaving, he looked at the cotton-padded jacket above. Remembering winter was coming, he asked for one his brother could wear. This time, old Wang didn't overprice it. The jacket is new, 500 yuan each. One less person frozen to death is a good thing. Ren Xiaosu glanced around the store again. He saw the anti-inflammatory medicine on the counter. When he learned one pill cost 210 yuan, Ren Xiaosu looked at the wound on his hand and decided against it. Wounds don't usually get infected in winter. Ren Xiaosu didn't linger and returned to his shack. Yang Liuyuan, who was doing his homework, looked up with a pleasant surprise. Brother, you're back. The two exchanged a few words. Yang Liuyuan suddenly asked, when can I go hunting with you? Hearing this, Ren Xiaosu scolded him sternly. The most important thing for you now is to go to school. In this era, everyone knows the importance of knowledge. It's just that the tuition is too expensive. Otherwise, he would want to attend the classes himself. Before selling the sparrow, Ren Xiaosu kept some of the organs. He skillfully set up the iron pot and started stewing them. After a short while, Ren Xiaosu scooped the organs out of the pot and handed them to Yang Liuyuan. Yang Liuyuan stubbornly refused. This is not a small injury. You need to recover. Tears were about to stream down his face. Ren Xiaosu suddenly roared. You remember this. This world doesn't believe in tears. Look at the people around us. If you don't eat your fill, what if someone rushes in at night and stabs me to death? I'm sending you to school, because I don't want you to become like them. Yang Liuyuan suddenly took the sparrow organs and began to wolf them down. He held back his tears with all his might. Ren Xiaosu patted his head, his heart aching. Eat up. Later, try on the jacket I bought for you. Hearing this, Yang Liuyuan asked back, what about you? Ren Xiaosu smiled faintly. I'm not cold. Lying on the worn-out straw bed, Ren Xiaosu wanted to explore the secrets of that palace. He closed his eyes and was once again before the great doors. In the middle of the hall, there was only a table. On it was a pre-cataclysm typewriter. Each bronze key was engraved with a word: justice, honesty, kindness. Was this telling him that in this world where even mentioning morality was a luxury, he should be a good person? Ren Xiaosu scoffed at the idea. People like that die the most miserable deaths. Beside, it was the scroll that appeared in the afternoon. Gift the prey to another person. Reward, basic skill learning scroll. Can learn another person's ability. At night, footsteps were heard outside the shack. A graceful figure walked towards them. The door flap was kicked open. When she stepped into the shack, Yang Liu Yuan's bone knife was already at the woman's neck. Xiao Yu was startled at first. Then she showed a gentle smile. Seeing that the visitor was not a stranger, Yang Liuyuan put away the bone knife. Xiao Yu's expression was a bit unnatural. Where's Xiaosu? I heard he was injured. Yang Liuyuan's tone towards her was very cold. A sparrow just pecked his hand. Hearing this, Xiao Yu glanced at Ren Xiaosu, her face full of worry. Yang Liuyuan couldn't help but say, you're 8 years older than my brother. No need to be so concerned about him. Xiao Yu's face flushed as she retorted, you're just a kid with a big mouth. I think of you two as my younger brothers. Seeming to sense that Yang Liuyuan didn't like her much, she said, I'll be going then. Tell your brother when he wakes up. Xiao Yu left these words and turned to leave. After she left, Yang Liuyuan sat at the entrance, keeping watch. In this era, home invasions were common. Don't always bully your sister Xiao Yu. Life isn't easy for her either. Ren Xiaosu's voice suddenly sounded from behind. She's not clean. She only gets close to you because you catch prey. Ren Xiaosu said with a world-weary look, who is clean? In this world, no one who wants to survive can stay clean. It's all because life forces them to. Just keep a distance from her. Ren Xiaosu also sat at the entrance, gazing at the starry sky. He told Yang Liuyuan his secret. There were legends in the settlement about some people who could make a train appear out of thin air. At first, Ren Xiaosu didn't believe it either. But meeting Yang Liuyuan gave him motivation. because his ability is luck. Whenever he wished for Ren to catch prey, even if Ren Xiaosu did nothing, a sparrow would inexplicably fall in front of him. But this ability had a backlash. After making a wish, Yang Luyuan would get a high fever. Suddenly, a shooting star streaked across the sky. Yang Luyuan subconsciously put his hands together to make a wish, but was stopped by Ren Xiaosu. Yang Luyuan looked at the starry sky, and asked curiously, why do shooting stars fly so fast? What if everyone doesn't have time to make a wish? It flies fast, because it doesn't want to hear your wishes at all. Hearing Ren Xiaosu's answer, Yang Luyuan was speechless. The next morning, Ren Xiaosu took Yang Luyuan to school. The school was the cleanest and tidiest place in the entire settlement. Ren Xiaosu leaned against the window, listening to the sounds of reading inside. The teacher would sometimes tell the students how glorious the past human civilization was, but he had never seen that era either. After Zhong Jinglin discovered Xiaosu was eavesdropping, he simply called him into the courtyard. He allowed him to stand at the door and listen to the class. During everyone's lunch break, Ren Xiaosu smilingly handed him a cigarette. Zhong Jinglin didn't refuse. Cigarettes were a rare commodity in this era. He lit the cigarette with a match, and contentedly blew out a puff of smoke. In these chaotic times, there aren't many people like you who love to learn. Ren Xiaosu asked bluntly. Sir, I've always had a question. Zhong Jinglin was probably enjoying a rare cigarette, so he didn't mind whatever Ren Xiaosu asked. You said humans before the cataclysm had a lot of technology. Why has it all disappeared now? Zhong Jinglin replied with some regret. In the period after the cataclysm broke out, humanity was lucky just to survive. Ren Xiaosu was still confused. Surely some information could have been saved. Zhong Jinglin suddenly looked towards the towering stronghold wall. He said meaningfully, it is controlled by a few people. Hearing this, Ren Xiaosu fell into deep thought. Although he was mature for his age, there were some things he had never encountered, so he was bound to not understand. This was also why he craved knowledge. In that case, why not tear down the wall? Most beasts don't dare to actively attack crowds. As long as everyone lives together, we'd be fine even without the strongholds. That way, a lot of technology would flow out. And couldn't we rebuild civilization? Zhong Jinglin took a deep breath and explained. As long as the wilderness is still dangerous, the refugees can only rely on the strongholds to live. This provides a large amount of cheap labor. The vested interest class inside the stronghold, how could they possibly give up this class barrier? After speaking, Zhong Jinglin adjusted his collar. I'm going to change my clothes. The ones I was wearing smell like smoke. It's not good for the students to smell it. Ren Xiaosu was suddenly a little displeased. So it's okay for me to smell it. Sir, you didn't ask me to stand further away just now. Zhong Jinglin thought for a long time, and spat out one word, scram. Just then, the palace in Ren Xiaosu's mind spoke again. Quest. To desire knowledge is never a bad thing, but what is learned must be taught to others. Ren Xiaosu was stunned for a moment. He just didn't understand what this quest wanted him to do. During class in the afternoon, outside the door, stood Ren Xiaosu, who was several years older than them. So many students turned to look at him. Zhong Jinglin cleared his throat a few times, stopping the students' curiosity. This afternoon, we have survival class. If you encounter a wolf pack in the wild, what should you do? After speaking, he pointed to Ren Xiaosu at the door. You tell us. Ren Xiaosu thought for a moment, and answered, you should try to choose a high ground, with a wide field of vision, where qi disperses with the wind and is stopped by water. The purpose of choosing such a spot is for good feng shui. Zhong Jinglin's face immediately darkened. While the classroom was silent, Ren Xiaosu himself was also very confused. Why hasn't the quest been completed? There's nothing wrong with the knowledge he taught. Seeing this, Ren Xiaosu explained seriously. You probably haven't seen how big wild wolves are. Even if you encounter a lone wolf, there's basically no chance of survival. Ren Xiaosu thought Zhong Jinglin would argue with him. After all, he was challenging the teacher's authority. However, Zhong Jinglin suddenly said, from now on, you can sit in the classroom for lessons, and you will teach the survival class. Ren Xiaosu nodded, looking dazed. Just then, the palace in his mind announced, quest complete, reward, 1.0 strength. He felt his body become much stronger. He had truly gained muscular strength. Now Ren Xiaosu was certain that the palace in his mind was truly an extraordinary ability. Ren Xiaosu immediately assessed himself. Before, His strength was 2.5. Now, he surpassed a normal adult. This meant he had a greater chance of survival in the wilderness. On the way home from school, Yang Luyuan asked him curiously, "The teacher made you a substitute teacher. Does he want to train you as his successor?" Ren Xiaosu thought for a moment, and guessed, "I reckon he's probably just out of smokes. But once I become a teacher, I'll pass the position on to you. After all, the wilderness is where I belong." Looking at Ren Xiaosu's back, Yang Luyuan felt an indescribable feeling in his heart. This brother, who was not related to him by blood, always left the best things for him. On the road, Ren Xiaosu saw a group of mercenaries. From their conversation, he learned that they were heading into the mountains in the wilderness. They needed to find a guide in the settlement, and these mercenaries from within the stronghold lacked practical combat experience. Going into the wilderness so casually was simply courting death. As he brushed past a girl, Ren Xiaosu's heart skipped a beat, because the feeling this girl gave him was like a wild beast from the wilderness. Yang Luyuan also heard their conversation. "Do you think they'll recommend you to be their guide? Everyone in the settlement knows you're familiar with the wilderness." Ren Xiaosu shook his head. His intuition told him there was something wrong with this group. As night fell, Ren Xiaosu had just returned to the shack when he heard many footsteps outside. It was rare for people to be walking around at night. Ren Xiaosu quickly guessed who they were, and knew their purpose. Sure enough, it was old Wang leading the mercenaries over. He must have recommended Ren Xiaosu as a guide. Soon, the group arrived at the door. Old Wang shouted with a smile, "Xiaosu, come on out. We have honored guests." Ren Xiaosu told Yang Luyuan to stay put. Then he went out alone. Ren Xiaosu suddenly grabbed old Wang's hand cheerfully. "Boss Wang, congratulations. A safe delivery for both father and son." Everyone was dumbfounded by this scene. The leader looked at old Wang. "Is this crazy and you fucking call this fine? Isn't it supposed to be mother and child?" He grabbed old Wang by the collar and roared, "Do you know the consequences of lying to us?" After venting, they turned and left. They originally had some expectations for Ren Xiaosu, but ended up meeting a lunatic. Old Wang glared at Ren Xiaosu with fury, then followed them, apologizing profusely. Suddenly, the girl in the peaked cap looked back at Ren Xiaosu. He had a feeling of being seen through. An unexplainable sense of dread arose in his heart. Ren Xiaosu subconsciously used his skill learning scroll, randomly drawing the target's firearms skill. Learn. Ren Xiaosu decisively chose to confirm. Then, knowledge about firearms appeared in his mind. Only now did he confirm that he could really copy others' abilities. Learning successful. You have learned advanced firearms proficiency. Ren Xiaosu was curious. I asked, didn't I get a basic level scroll? Why could I learn advanced firearms proficiency? Skill learning scrolls only come in two types. The first is basic, which can directly learn any skill below advanced. The second is master, which, after one of your own skills reaches advanced, allows you to learn another's master level skills. Ren Xiaosu was stunned. Then he remembered the girl. He asked, what level is her firearms proficiency? Perfect. Ren Xiaosu's face was full of shock. So young, yet she has mastered perfect firearms proficiency. But why would she be with mercenaries? Yang Luyuan popped out of the shack and asked, why are you staring at her back? As Ren Xiaosu was about to explain, the door flap of the neighboring shack was lifted. Whose back? Yang Luyuan and Ren Xiaosu were both stunned. The person who came out was Xiao Yu. Why did you move next door to us? Xiao Yu smoothed her hair and said with a smile, I swapped with them. We're neighbors from now on. Yang Luyuan pulled Ren Xiaosu and lowered his voice. Sister Xiao Yu really went all out. She used to live in a brick house. You're still a virgin, right? Hearing this, Ren Xiaosu got angry. You're not a kid anymore. I need to have a talk with you about this kind of education. He awkwardly greeted Xiao Yu, then dragged Yang Luyuan back into the shack. Just as they entered, Yang Luyuan found 2 potatoes and some medicine. Ren Xiaosu picked it up and saw it was the anti-inflammatory medicine he urgently needed. He remembered a few days ago when he was injured, someone had also secretly delivered a few pills, which allowed him to survive. Yang Luyuan suddenly spoke up. It couldn't have been left by Sister Xiao Yu, right? I only told her that you were injured. Hearing this, Ren Xiaosu fell silent. At this moment, Xiao Yu's arguing voice came from outside the shack. I'm not doing that kind of thing anymore. Xiao Yu's voice was filled with anger. You're not doing that kind of thing. What will you eat and drink? Who's going to give you cigarettes from now on? It seemed a physical conflict had broken out between them. The man ripped Xiao Yu's clothes. Ren Xiaosu frowned tightly and rushed out angrily with the bone knife. The Grand Palace suddenly announced, "Quest, help." Ren Xiaosu interrupted it with a cold sneer in his mind. "I'd help even without this quest." Ren Xiaosu's slender figure rushed towards the man like a cheetah. The man also drew his knife from his waist. What he held was real iron, but in the next second, his mocking expression froze. With a crack, the bone knife and the iron knife collided. Both knives shattered into two pieces. While the man was stunned, Ren Xiaosu grabbed his wrist and punched the nerve cluster in his exposed armpit. The man temporarily lost his ability to move. Ren Xiaosu seized the opportunity to press down on his neck and slam him hard onto the ground. The man was surprised to find that this teenager's strength was a level above his own. Ren Xiaosu looked at Xiao Yu and asked who he was. "He's a foreman from the coal mine. He was the one who led the group that stabbed a man to death yesterday." As she spoke, she hesitated as if wanting to say more. Ren Xiaosu naturally knew what it was about. He picked up the broken half of the bone knife from the ground. Just as he was about to finish the man with one strike, the long silent palace suddenly spoke again. "Quest, spare your enemy's life." The moment the voice faded, Ren Xiaosu decisively slashed his waist. "You have about 3 minutes. Get to the settlement's clinic for stitches in time, and you might have a chance to live." Hearing this, the man no longer cared about the pain. He said nothing, and immediately got up and ran towards the clinic. Quest complete. Reward, basic skill learning scroll. Because you lack a weapon, a side quest has been unlocked. Ren Xiaosu was stunned after hearing this. The first quest should have been for saving Xiao Yu. He had somehow completed the second one too. Yang Luyuan at his side was a little worried. You just let him go like that. What if he gets stitched up at the clinic, recovers, and comes back for revenge? Ren Xiaosu smiled. He said, "That crappy clinic in our settlement. They don't know how to do stitches." Only then did Yang Luyuan breathe a sigh of relief. "Seeing you be so ruthless, I can rest assured." Ren Xiaosu went to pick up his bone knife. Then he turned to look at Xiao Yu. In the night, she looked a little fragile, a completely pitiful and helpless appearance. Ren Xiaosu said bluntly, "Can you quit smoking?" Xiao Yu nodded forcefully, as if she had made some kind of decision in her heart. "That stuff isn't that addictive. They probably just added some opium. If you want to quit, you can," Ren Xiaosu said, and took his half of the white bone knife, and stuck it firmly into the ground at Xiao Yu's door. This meant that from now on, Xiao Yu was under his protection. Then Ren Xiaosu smoothed his hair. "I have to say this up front. Although I'm very handsome, it's impossible between us." Xiao Yu's expression was instantly stunned. "I just think of you as a younger brother." Now it was Ren Xiaosu's turn to be embarrassed. He immediately headed back to his own shack, blaming it all on Yang Luyuan. "It's all your damn fault for constantly gossiping." Seeing Ren Xiaosu like this, Li Xiaoyu's bad mood vanished. Meanwhile, Ren Xiaosu entered the palace. He picked up the parchment from the typewriter. "Because you lack a weapon, a side quest is unlocked. Obtain 100 sincere thanks. This can unlock a weapon and be used to exchange for items." Ren Xiaosu's expression turned strange. This side quest feels a bit weird, and the typewriter ejected another piece of paper. "Thanks from Li Xiaoyu +1. Ren Xiaosu couldn't help but exclaim, "At least I didn't save an ungrateful wretch." Back in reality, Ren Xiaosu immediately told Yang Luyuan to say thank you to him. Yang Luyuan looked confused, then he thought for a moment, and said from the bottom of his heart, "Thank you for always taking care of me." Thanks from Yang Luyuan. "Say thank you a few more times." Yang Luyuan said it again with a look of disdain, but this time, Ren Xiaosu was disappointed. Could it be because of the word sincere? He immediately looked at Yang Luyuan with dissatisfaction. "Your heart wasn't in it. Brew up your emotions first." But no matter what Yang Luyuan said, there was no reaction from the system. Yang Luyuan almost broke down. "This ability of yours is a bit hard on the throat." After experimenting for several hours, he only managed to get one more thank you, and this thank you was exchanged for 2 coins. Engraved on them were the words, "A grateful heart. Thankful for you." Suddenly, with a click, the black mist around a cabinet dispersed, revealing a vending machine inside. Ren Xiaosu was stunned on the spot. He had never seen such a thing before. but he understood the words on it. Coin slot. With a clang, the coin fell into the machine. Then, a small bottle rolled out. Ren Xiaosu took it out and looked. The bottle had only one word on it, medicine. You could at least say what illness it treats. Ren Xiaosu couldn't help but complain, after opening his eyes, with a thought. The medicine bottle also appeared in the real world. This scene left Yang Luyuan stunned. Brother, are you performing a magic trick? Ren Xiaosu ignored him and picked up the medicine. He scooped out a little of the ointment from inside, and carefully applied it to his wound. After applying it, Ren Xiaosu felt a bit of regret. What if it's poison? But what he worried about didn't happen. The burning pain in the wound disappeared. This gave Ren Xiaosu an idea for getting rich. The next morning, when Ren Xiaosu and Yang Luyuan arrived at the classroom, Zhong Jinglin was almost scared out of his wits. He saw both of them had heavy dark circles under their eyes. My brother, he insisted. Before he could finish, Ren Xiaosu clapped a hand over his mouth. How could he say something like that out loud? Today was his first time as a substitute teacher. Ren Xiaosu was thinking about how to farm for sincere thanks. Do you all think it's hard work for the teacher to teach everyone? Is it hard work or not? So, shouldn't you all thank the teacher? The students, not understanding, still answered yes. Ren Xiaosu nodded with satisfaction. Let's try it once. The students reluctantly said in unison, thank you, teacher. But the typewriter didn't make a sound. This bunch of little bastards, not a single one of them was sincerely thanking him. Ren Xiaosu thought that maybe if he taught a bit more, the students would be grateful. So, school, which originally ended at 4 o'clock, was dragged out by him until almost 5 o'clock. The students stared eagerly at Xiaosu, cursing this grandson in their hearts. He can talk way too damn much. One student couldn't take it anymore. Teacher, if class doesn't end soon, it'll get dark. The settlement will become unsafe. Ren Xiaosu was taken aback for a moment, but he understood that safety came first. So he could only wave his hand in resignation. Thank you, teacher. The students swarmed out of the classroom. Ren Xiaosu suddenly saw that there were indeed 2 more thank you coins in the palace. After lecturing for so long, it seemed his hard work had not been in vain. On the way back, Yang Luyuan complained with a dark face. Can you not drag out the class in the future? Ren Xiaosu was immediately displeased. I am willing to devote my life to the cause of education. What's wrong with talking a little longer? Yang Luyuan was nearly choked speechless by him. You're harming the flowers of our motherland. Suddenly, he pointed ahead in surprise. It's that group of mercenaries from before. They seem to have found a guide, and are preparing to head into the wilderness mountains. Wang Fuguei came over, and glared at Ren Xiaosu. You ungrateful little wretch. I recommended such a good job to you, and you didn't even take it. Ren Xiaosu paused. He asked back, how do you know it's a good job? Wang Fuguei said mysteriously, the stronghold is also divided into the poor and the noble. According to him, it's also very difficult for the poor to get out. It seems this towering wall doesn't just block people outside, but also the people inside. I heard from their staff that they're looking for a guide to take into the stronghold, and after that, he will be needed for other things. Ren Xiaosu was stunned. He hadn't expected to miss the chance to enter the stronghold, but even if he went in, Yang Luyuan still couldn't. As they passed a pawn shop, Yang Luyuan tugged on Ren Xiaosu's sleeve. He saw Xiao Yu talking to the shopkeeper. These earrings of mine are very valuable. Can't you give a little more? The shopkeeper gave Li Xiaoyu a flirtatious look. Where are all your men? Ren Xiaosu suddenly walked over and stuffed some money into Li Xiaoyu's hand. This is the money for those 3 anti-inflammatory pills. Li Xiaoyu tried to refuse, but Ren Xiaosu's face became serious. If it weren't for the medicine you gave me, I would have died long ago. From now on, as long as I have a bite of meat, you'll have a mouthful of soup. Yang Luyuan couldn't help but interject. Hasn't she always had meat to eat? Besides, we don't have any meat at home right now. Ren Xiaosu nodded seriously. Then I'll rephrase. From now on, as long as I have a mouthful of soup to drink, you'll have a bowl to wash. Li Xiaoyu was amused by this. Then I'll wash the dishes and do the laundry for you guys from now on. Suddenly, a pleading voice came from the side. A middle-aged woman was kneeling on the ground, kowtowing to the only doctor in town. Please, save my husband. However, the doctor just sneered. How can you see a doctor without money?